Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stockradar Stocks on the Move for another week. Today's date is the 5th of December 2024. My name is Richard Lee and I manage the Stockradar.com.au website. Well, welcome back to everybody. I've been away for a few weeks, feeling coming back nice and refreshed. Not a lot has changed since I've been away. There might have been a few drafts and gust blow while I was away, but really we're in the same position we were when I left. The market's going up, our stocks are going up, the indices are going up, and we're all pretty happy at the moment. So let's just have a little look at what we're doing today and why we're doing it. Firstly, minding your mind. It's really a bit about managing yourself in a lot of these situations. Our market's taking off at the moment, our stocks are making money. We can get to the stage where we feel very invincible and very fearless, and they've got to be very careful about that because that can make us make some dangerous decisions. And on the other side of the coin, if the market's going down, we can get all this despair and this doubt into our minds, which paralyses us. So these sorts of things we need to control, these emotions, bring us back to the middle ground to think clearly and make the right decisions. So minding your mind is a big part of it, and balancing that. So when you're in a state of confusion and confuddlement, you need to walk away, and we'll talk about that later on. So mind your mind is a very important part of what I do to keep yourself on the straight and narrow. Okay, so first let's go to the top 10 trend intensity ratings. There's quite a few top 10s, but these are the main ones here. We're going to go through these today. AMP, which has been a bit of a surprise package, finally bounced out of its range. Bendigo Bank, well, it's been a nice rise, this one. You can see this one here since about May in 23. It was about $8.50. It's now around $13.40. We've had a break to a new high back here, a bit of a pullback. It's now rallying really strongly, like a lot of the banks are at the moment. So Bendigo Bank's jumping on the bandwagon. Even Bank of Queensland, which I think is now in here, has now jumped on the bandwagon as well. So we've got CBA in there. We've got those techie stocks, CPU doing well. Downer EDI has been there for a while. It's doing nicely, making new highs. IAG, well, it's back to its all-time high at the moment. Hit bang on it, and it still seems very strong. We'll have a look at that one a bit later on. JB Hi-Fi well on the way to $100. NAB, another bank, and Origin, an energy stock, which seems to be a little bit more in play at the moment. So we're keeping an eye on that one. So this is a good top 10 for you, all doing very nicely. A couple of newbies, a couple of old ones there for you at the moment. Okay, the stock pick update is really flat at 64 from last week. No wins, no outs. We're not going crazy with our buying, not trying to buy everything. We just keeping our cool, staying calm as we should, and just watching our stock picks. Because at the moment, the 48 stock picks that we have of the 153 stocks are actually averaging about 19.2% return at the moment. Which is the average over the 48 stocks, which is very, very, very good. Okay, and then we've got 16 ETFs of 24. I'm going to change the balance of that a little bit at the end of the year. We've got too many industry-based ones, and we've got members have suggested a couple of other ones they might like to follow, which I'm going to add in there as well. So that will change a bit as we change the data universe, as we review the data universe every 6 months. Okay, now, so why don't we have a look at some overseas markets for now? Let's go straight to the Dow Jones, and this will be a very quick rundown, I think, because I say nothing much has changed since I've been away. This market is making new highs, after new high after new high on good volume. Nasdaq, new highs on good volume, no change there. S&P, new highs again on good volume. So really nothing much to do there. The S&P, the volume's quite high there. We saw some selling back here, some big selling, which moved the price down, but the buyers came back up again. So there is just a force behind this market at the moment that's driving it. Okay, now we've got our market. It's also making new highs, which has been great. And really we've had a pretty good run since about the start of 2024, when we were 6,800. We're now 8,400, so it's been a very steady and powerful rise. Two new highs again. We just jumped above this high again, so it's all looking pretty good, the ASX 200. And really there's not a lot of contributors in that index, so it's mainly the banks and the finance have been driving it, but there's a lot of other stocks that can still come in and keep this index going higher. But anyway, our focus is on stocks. It's just very nice to see those indices going higher. Okay, commodities. Well, copper is the tricky one. We know we've got an overall bullish picture here with resistance up around 485. It keeps coming back and making these higher lows, which is a good sign. Even now, we've got a higher low. We also have a lower high. So the confusion is clear there that we've got with copper. That it really, while it's within this big pattern here, all sorts of things could happen. So it's like stay away from commodities for the moment until you get a clear break above R1 there for copper there, and then we're probably going to get a very nice run. But for the moment, let's just hold our fire there while it dallies about a bit. Gold, well, it's been on a sparkler, it's been on a tear. It's had the last couple of months, it's been a bit choppy, but still looks okay. We've had a selling bout here, which killed the price a bit, but still we're back up again. So, at this stage here, if you're going to run a trend intensity ranking over this, you've probably got about a 7 there, or maybe even an 8. So it still looks pretty good at the moment, on that basis. So gold's looking okay. Crude's on the other side is pressuring $70. It's holding, which has been amazing. The buyers are trying to hold it. There's been a bit of volume through here, but they just can't get it off its backside to unearth a rally. So again, one of those ones we leave alone. We like to be on the long side only. And these are obviously just indications, but as far as Brent crude goes, it's in a downtrend and falling down and testing support, so it would be a no-no for me. Okay, so that's the indices for the moment and the commodities. Not a lot of change, as I say again. Now I want to go through a few stocks, just a few stocks for today, because this is really a fairly simple market at the moment. We're just buying new highs at the moment, and they're hitting it off pretty well. So a stock like JB Hi-Fi, which I'll just put that back up on the screen again, has really, since we bought this one back in July of 24 at $65, it's now up around $93 and on that way to $100. Why would we doubt that? We wouldn't. The trend is up. It's above the average. Volume is good. Momentum is good. There's no real reason to doubt that. So for the moment, we just lift our stop for JB Hi-Fi, which is simply our modus operandi and all these sorts of stocks. Okay. Insurance Australia, well, interesting one. It's piled on the gains over the last couple of years. And really, it's just been an amazing performance. But now we look back at this, we can now look at this, and we can see that IAG has now tickled the top of its all-time highs, up around, about 860, 865. So we've run into this level, we've shanked straight into it pretty hard. We've got good volume coming through here. Let me just expand this out a little bit so we can see a bit clear. Good volume coming through here, good momentum. The average is far away. And this situation with this hitting that high there, we're now going to tighten the stop a little bit because this is a resistance level. It hasn't resisted yet. Stopped it for 2 weeks only so far. So we'll wait and see. This could go straight through and surprise us all, which is what the stock market does a lot. So if it does go through, we will run with it. If it doesn't, we just tighten our stop, and if we get taken out, we get taken out. But for the moment, everything looks cool for Insurance Australia, as it does with QBE insurers as well. So they're looking pretty good. Pro Medicus, well, I talked a bit about this one in the newsletter today, yesterday. Really, it's a situation where all you do is you raise your stop. Tops and bottoms, won't even consider it. Who would have thought of $260 when we were talking about, say, a year ago, when we were down here at around about $110? Who would have thought when we were $200 a couple of weeks ago, we'd be talking $260 today? So who knows where it will go, but we'll just follow this rise with the stock, because when it cracks, it will crack, and there will be some sort of correction here, fairly large one, I would think. But for the moment, all is intact. The trend is intact. Volume, momentum, trend, moving average, trend intensity rating is +10 for Pro Medicus, and why wouldn't it be? Okay, so that's been a big bankroller for us, that one there. Now we've got two recent stocks that have come in. One is Xero, which made a new all-time high back just a couple of weeks ago. It's a new all-time high up here. Big distribution pattern, which saw the big downtrend. We've seen the big accumulation pattern. Then we've got a new uptrend here, and we've now got a new confirmation that the uptrend is going to continue with a new all-time high, which is fantastic. Volume, well, if I could just tick this up a little bit, because we've got a big couple of red bars there. You can just see here, it's been quite good this last few weeks on this rally. Momentum started to expand, so it's looking pretty good. Xero trend intensity rating is +9 as of last week, when we were just off a little bit. Okay, so Xero's looking good. The other one is Computershare, another recent entry, and it's just gone bang bang, sharply through those highs. Good volume, good momentum. And also it's above the average. So it's risen quickly from $28 to $33 in about 3 or 4 weeks since we entered this one. So it's been a great performer for us. Again, it's quite a good trending stock. The corrections have been shallow, which reflects good, strong underlying demand for this one there. And then these series of higher lows here eventually pushed us straight to this all-time high. So there's really a strong buy balance on this whole Computershare chart at the moment. Good business, well run, and making money. Okay, now the last stock I've got for you today is the Lottery Corp. Now, I've been watching this one for a while. I'll probably put it up on the screen a few times for you. This is the history of the trading range, so it's a relatively new listing. It's yielding like about 3.5%, nothing fantastic, but it's not too bad. and it's now looking to, this is a pretty clear resistance level we've got up here between about 520 and 540. Now I'll be waiting for it to get through about 540 or 535, but this really is a strong resistance level here. But we've also got the buyers who are increasing their buying levels from here to here, so they're strengthening the buying, and we're just really waiting for these sellers to go and reverse their positions from short sellers to covering buyers, and that's what we want. And that's when we get that market imbalance of fresh buying added to the already existing buying here, and all of a sudden there's a dearth of sellers and the market sharply moves higher. That's why we isolate these points on a chart, because they do trigger certain moves, or they are likely to trigger certain moves. It's not 100% guaranteed, of course, but the odds are in your favour if you do it, and that's why we play with odds, and we risk manage every trade, so we know that exactly how much money we're going to lose if we are wrong. So the Lottery Corporation, again, as I said, is one for you to watch, I think, at the moment, and it's quite exciting, especially considering what the market is doing. It's looking for things to buy at the moment, and there's a good reason to buy Lottery Corp. Okay, now, just to finish off here, on talking about what we're talking about today, minding your mind, finding your ways to keep calm. So holding the line, no matter what, is our challenge, okay? And whether the bull market, bear market, choppy market, and I went through a couple of years of choppy market here for a while, which is not really conducive to my trending strategy. So, strategies aren't 100% clear all the time, but what I do is I risk manage my trade, so I make sure I don't lose a lot of money during those periods, because I know when these periods come along, we make a lot of money. If you go to the home page, the landing page of Stockradar, and scroll down and look at the portfolio charts and the returns since 2003, you can see the performance has been fantastic, and we're now making new highs in our portfolios after a couple of tough years. So we've rebounded very quickly because we behave the same way as we did last year and the year before that and the year before that, because we know that the trends will develop and they will come, and now is the time to be making your money. So holding the line, no matter what is our challenge, but remember, don't think you're invincible and don't become reckless and make silly decisions. Keep doing the same thing. So rising to that challenge illuminates our future. So rising to that challenge is important, because if we do that, it's the right thing to do. I talked about choices in my newsletter the last few times, about making right choices and not making wrong emotional choices, making right trade plan choices. So again, this is what rising to that challenge is. To do that, to follow your trade plan, will mean you will start to generate good profits and consistently, and that will illuminate your future. It makes you happy, it makes your wife happy, it makes your girlfriend happy, it makes your bank balance happy, it makes everyone's happy. So that's what you need to do. And we do kick ourselves when we make that wrong choice, because we know we do make the wrong choice. So it's an easy thing to do. It just have to be doing it. Anyway, so that's what I'm all about today. So rising to that challenge illuminates our future, and that's where I want you to get to with your trading, because it really is a very simple place, a stock market, to trade in. Don't get it overcomplicated. Keep it fairly simple. As I said, you know why you buy, you know what to buy, know why you sell, you know what to sell. All these simple things that make the world go around and make the stock market a simple place to operate. So minding your mind, balance, poise, perspective, all the many superlatives that tell us what we already know, but can we act appropriately? There is your challenge. Okay, the simplest and easiest way is to clear your head, take a deep breath, follow what your trade plan tells you to do. Now, that's easier said than done. How you do that is up to you. You might walk away and come back. You might walk away for an hour. You might walk away for a day. You may walk away for a week. I often walk away for a week. In fact, I've just walked away for 2 weeks and come back refreshed and renewed, and I can just focus on what I do without all the itty-bitty luggage that comes from being focused all the time on this markets and on the details. So the perspective and the step back is very, very important for me. So if your head is muddled, it'll make it hard to make any decision, let alone the right decision. So you need to find techniques that put your mind in the right place so you can make those decisions clearly and correctly. Okay? So that's all I've got for today. It's nice to be back again. The market's been fantastic for us all. I hope you will be following all our stock picks, because we're doing nicely. And hopefully we'll continue to do so for a bit longer. So watch your trends, heed your stops, stay safe, make sure you have fun, and I will see you all next week. Thanks very much. See you later.